Good morning. Thank you so much for hanging with us today. I'm Alexis Govea, alongside Alex, Cox, Justin, and Johnny.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have a lot in store for you here on First Take. Today we will be discussing the college football playoffs, who's deserving of the NFL MVP, and who's sitting on top as the best player in the NBA. The college football playoffs are set and the final rankings are in. Number 1 Clemson, number 2 Alabama, number 3 Michigan State, and number 4 Oklahoma. So boys, do you agree with who the committee chose?
Absolutely. I think in the terms of the rankings, these are the 4 best teams that the committee chose, and they're deserving to play in the semifinal games for a chance to play at the national title. My pick here is Oklahoma to win it all. I think they're solid from top to bottom. They have a two-headed steam horse running backs between Joe Mixon, the freshman, and Samaje Perine, which is the do-it-all back. He's your power horse. They're solid defensively. There's really no weakness between them. The quarterback is playing lights out, which I think he should have got at least a shout-out in the Heisman candidacy votes, but he didn't. And yeah, so this should be very interesting as we take this and we watch this Thursday, January 31st.
Johnny?
I don't know. I think Stanford is more deserving than Michigan State. Stanford lost week 1 to Northwestern. After that, went 11-1. When's the last time a team went undefeated in the Pac-12? Exactly. So they're expected to lose in the Pac-12. I think Stanford is more deserving. Stanford had the number 11 strength of schedule. Michigan State, 26th. Just saying. But I do agree. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking anything away from Michigan State. They're a great team. They did great this year. But I think Stanford's more deserving.
Justin, who do you think's gonna win it all?
Definitely in the championship, I do feel it will be Alabama and Oklahoma. Ultimately, I don't feel Alabama's defense is going to be strong enough to hold up on Oklahoma. Oklahoma, their offense is the most efficient in the country. They have averaged 543 yards a game, along with 45.8 points per game. They had one loss this year to a Texas team who they always struggle with, rivals, at a neutral site.
Yep.
No home or away. Another thing is, don't forget, Bob Stoops is 3-0 against Alabama. So if that does ever occur, he does have the key to success against Bama. And like Alex said earlier, Baker Mayfield, say no more. Heisman, should have been the Heisman winner in my eyes.
He should have been at least invited. I think he got snubbed.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I mean, you can make case for McCaffrey, but as far as domination goes, Baker Mayfield has dominated the game.
I'd probably go with Clemson, Alabama. I think Deshaun Watson is probably going to win that Heisman Trophy. Keeps a cool head, has a lot of poise in games, and does what he has to do to win games, actually, especially coming off the ACL tear last year. Performing the way he did this year, he could do a lot. They got a great receiving core, and I don't think Alabama can really hold up with them. I mean, they've played the best, but I think I'll go with Clemson.
Going to your knock about why Michigan State shouldn't be in there, if you look at their schedule, Michigan State, when the chips are on the table, they play with a chip on their shoulder. And when it's time to show up in big-time moments, Connor Cook and Baldridge show up to play. And when they're led by a defensive line that's probably one of the best defensive lines in college football. Shaquille Calhoun is going to be a first-round pick. You can take my word for it. That kid is dynamic. He causes so much trouble for a quarterback. He has a quick first 2 steps that I've never seen on a defensive lineman before. That's including Jadeveon Clowney. To me, this guy is electric. And the reason why Michigan State deserves it, not only did they go and beat I think it was the number 1 team at the time in Ohio State. They showed up, backs against their walls. Little time left, Connor Cook shows up and beats the undefeated Iowa team. I know their resume is not impressive, but it was one of the 2 remaining undefeated teams left they had in this.
Did Iowa play as good as they could, though?
They did. They played good. But it was a defensive matchup. It was a defensive game from the start. We saw it. The field goals.
I'm just saying it took a last-second TD for Michigan State to get past Iowa.
Right, but a win is a win. Don't matter how dirty it is.
I think they're the weakest team in the playoffs.
Okay, you can do it, but I guarantee you, chips on the shoulder, they're going to show up to play Alabama, which their passing defense is not that great. And their offense struggles at times. Maybe you get the upset, if you call it an upset.
Michigan State Prove me wrong, but I doubt it.
Well, Michigan State will never wow you offensively, but just remember the last time Michigan State and Alabama played, they were blown out 49-7 in 2011 in the Capital One Bowl.
There you go.
And Nick Saban was still the coach, I believe. So.
Exactly.
Moving on, the NFL season is coming to a close with only a few games left in the regular season, and the race for the MVP is heating up. So, Johnny, who's it going to be?
I know everybody wants me to say Cam Newton. Panthers are 12-0. He's playing great, but I think the dark horse that everybody's forgetting right now, Carson Palmer. The Arizona Cardinals are running away with the NFC West, 10-2. Carson Palmer is third in the NFL with 3,693 yards and has the second best quarterback rating in all of the NFL. How is he not the NFL MVP? Exactly. Thank you.
Well, I beg to differ. He's having a great season, don't get me wrong. But when it comes down to it, 12-0 says a lot. Cam Newton is leading the whole league in total touchdowns, not passing touchdowns. He does it all. On top of having Devin Funchess, Ted Ginn, Greg Olsen. Okay, we got it, Greg Olsen.
Yeah, he's
but
really top.
I mean, he doesn't have anybody that's dynamic.
They're still NFL players.
Oh, of
They're
course.
still making their contract.
Of
They
course.
still have to
Of
be,
course.
they
Of
still
course.
have to be
Of course.
certain
But
talent
I mean,
level to be in the NFL.
Cam Newton's
Not
put up.
taking away from anything he's done.
Yeah, but Cam Newton's put up 5 passing touchdowns a game in 2 of the last 3 games. That doesn't happen often.
Opponents, just saying.
I mean, the Cowboys aren't a slouch on defense. Don't get me wrong. They're having a bad year, but that's on the offensive end.
Okay. I'll give
New
you that.
Orleans, yeah, New Orleans is New Orleans on defense. But
Exactly. But no, don't get me to say that. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to take anything away from Cam Newton. He's playing fantastic, but
Hit him with the dab.
that's right.
So, Cox, what do you have to say?
I'll say Adrian Peterson may be the dark horse. 11,000 yards already in 13 games, 8 TDs and 5 yards a pop. That's pretty good, especially coming off the, being the fact that he didn't play a whole season last year. He's in his in his early 30s right now. Running back, you don't really see doing that nowadays. So I think I'll go with AP. He's the workhorse for the team. Teddy Bridgewater he's more of an average quarterback. So I think I'll go with AP right now.
Alex?
I gotta say, after watching Cam Newton play, I think the 2010 Heisman Trophy winner, the Auburn Tiger, Mr. Superman himself, Mr. Dab on him, I think Cam Newton deserves reasonable amount of consideration for the NFL most valuable player of the year. Definitely.
Good point. Now switching gears to basketball. With the reigning MVP Steph Curry dominating the league, has he done enough to dethrone King James as the best player in the NBA? Who is the best player in the NBA right now? Cox?
Oh, 26, 8 and 6, around his career averages. I can't go wrong with LeBron James ever. 14-7 record leading this team. You seen what happened when he sat out the game against Miami the other day. They got blown out. When it didn't even look like an actual team on the court. He's playing without Kyrie right now. Kevin Love isn't, playing up to par like he did in Minnesota. So, I mean, I'd say the King right now is doing it. You can say every year LeBron can win the MVP, really. So, that's my pick.
Johnny?
Steph Curry, man, come on. Leading the league, 32 points, 4 points better than anybody else in the league. Purest shooter, he MVP hands down.
LeBron's basically a forward, you can say, and he's averaging more assists than Steph Curry right
Put it
now.
this way. Steph Curry is 23-0. You said he was averaging how many assists, LeBron? 8. Steph Curry's averaging 6. How many rebounds?
6.97.
Steph Curry's averaging 5, but Steph Curry's also 6'3". Steph Curry's also only playing 34.4 minutes a game out of 48.
He has a better team around him.
Yeah, but I mean, did he pick the team?
No.
He only plays
Right.
with what he has.
You can't fault the guy for playing on the team that he's
But,
on.
I mean, he's putting outstanding numbers. On top of what I just said, 32.2 points a game, 2.3 steals in the game, leading the league, 90.1 free throw percentage, leading the league, 46.3 three-point percentage, leading the league, 52.9 field goal percentage from the field, leading the league. So not only do I feel he's the best player, but he's also the most improved from last year.
Yeah, but if you want to say MVP, most valuable player, Steph Curry's off his team, mind you, he still has Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, a great, sixth man. And, with all the players, with Andrew Bogut too, Azili. So, I mean, you take him off the team, they're still a formidable team in the West. You take LeBron off the Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference, they still may not even make it to the playoffs.
So why has he only won 2 championships?
I mean, those are the teams he's been on, and you can actually say that he's had the toughest road to the championship out of almost any player ever in the NBA.
But he can't finish.
He can finish.
That's
he won
LeBron.
two championships back
Only
to back.
2 though. How many times has he lost?
He's lost.
How many times has he been there?
But he's lost.
Look, that's
He's played the
nobody
Spurs.
cares unless you win the last
He's
game
played
of the
a Hall of
season.
Fame Spurs team 3 times.
And
a
lost.
Hall of Fame team with a Hall of Fame coach.
And lost.
Nobody else would beat them either, though.
Alex, I see you nodding your head over there. What are your thoughts?
I feel like LeBron is all around the best player, but if in terms of right now in the game, I think Steph Curry is solidifying himself right now as he could be dethroning LeBron James as the best player in the league. I mean, this guy he can pull up from 35 feet, shoot a 3, and make it. Not very many people, although Durant, Russell Westbrook can probably do it, not very many people can be that accurate and shoot 3s like he does. Over his passing, he's a point guard at heart, but he's a scoring point guard. He makes for himself, and then he kicks it out. And this guy can just score from anywhere. It's ridiculous. To me, Steph Curry right now is making a case to be the best player in the NBA right now.
Well, best player playing right now he may be, but I mean, LeBron knows the wear and tear of the playoffs and the regular season, so you can arguably say that he's coasting right now. And with those stats right now, he's coasting with, playing with, his career.
So you don't feel Curry is
career averages.
only playing 34 minutes a game?
He doesn't have to play a lot. I mean, he has a great starting 5 and a great bench. And they're usually blowing teams out by the third quarter, so he's sitting out.
So Kevin Love's not great?
With the way he starts, though, right? Steph Curry starts
Yeah.
that blowout.
Come on, man.
No, I mean,
So that
I've
way
seen
he can take the rest of the game off.
I've seen games where he's coasting, and at the end of the games, then he turns up on them. I'm still gonna go with LeBron James. He's the best all-around player, top 5 player of all time.
There you go.
Good point. All right, that's it for today, guys. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. We'll see you next time.